I didn't realise there would be so many obstacles in my way. But by doing the market, it's prepared me when I go back to Tesco, back to Pets at Home, back to Asda. All these questions that people ask me off the cuff, I've got responses for.
Yeah.
And my sales pitch has improved massively. It's helped me understand my product even more than I already did. Things like obviously my balm, that's 100% natural. It gives people the opportunity to smell it and everything.
This smells real good, by the way, guys. I might use it for myself. And I think like having the uniqueness in your products, and once again, like obviously having no experience from, you know, where you've started to what you've achieved so far, and also the potential with huge retailers is insane. It's so good. Like for one, obviously be proud of what you've done there. Absolutely. But two, you're just getting started as well. And touching on the market stalls, I haven't really heard of many people doing that with a brand like this, but like it seems to be beneficial. Like what you're saying, you understand your product more, you can answer questions like more confidently, like you're learning a lot. So I think like moving forward, when we start, or when you start obviously approaching Tesco again, Asda, Pets at Home and stuff like that, you're going to have so much more confidence.
They still listen to me. They still hear me out. I've still learned from it. And I think there was so many times where I've sent you a voice note crying, or I've rang Ryan crying, and I'm just cried the whole way through because I'm like, something's wrong. And then when I went to order the bulk, the design, it wasn't going to be this colour blue, or something was changed. And I was just so heartbroken. I was like, that's it, business over, end of. And now it's all here. I love it the way that it is. It worked out for the best. And I'm so glad I stuck it out. Yeah. Like if someone would have told me, okay, in 2 years, you're going to have a really good business. You're going to have all your stock. You're going to have amazing feedback. Absolutely, you would take that up.
So Georgia, thanks so much for jumping on this podcast
no problem.
with myself. So on this podcast, it'll be good to just go over your journey, your products. I know it hasn't been the smoothest type of journey.
Not at all.
Getting to where we are. But to be fair, like how far you've came, just looking at your products here in front of us, amazing is all I can say. I've got 2 dogs myself, and you know I do struggle. One of them's a Frenchie, and he's literally allergic to the world, and finding like 100% natural products like what you've got here is so hard to come by. So in my opinion, you've smashed it so far. So it'll be good to obviously, well, for the people watching this to understand sort of how you started and taking it from there. So when you first joined Change, what level of experience would you say you had for this stuff, if any?
It was weird because I've always known I wanted to work for myself. Always known working for somebody else wouldn't last. My dad calls it a colourful employment history.
Okay.
I just can't seem to work in like corporate environments, and I've always been like, okay, I'll work for myself. Went to uni because I was kind of shoved into it like most people are. Got my degree in advertising, did quite a lot of graphic design type of things, and I was like, but this, although I love doing that, it's still not where I want to be. Like I knew I wanted something else. I knew if I wanted to make it how I see in my mind, that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So my dad seen Ryan posting on something and showed me. I was like, Dad, it's a scam. Like, get off it. And he was like, no, he's going to call. And I was like, what? Like, who is this fella? And spoke to Ryan, and he was like, listen, I think you should jump on. Like, you've got a good background, a good skill set. It will help you along the way. So although in e-commerce and like business, I didn't have a lot of knowledge, I think my skill set and my graphics and stuff certainly helped me at this stage. But I've been with Change like nearly 2 years now. And I always remember like you and Ryan all saying like, imagine you started sooner, like 6 months sooner. Like where would you be 6 months from now? And I was like, okay, I'll start. And then I did drop ship, and I think that was arguably harder than this. And then before I even had me stock, I was like, I'm going to start reaching out to stores. I'm going to go to Pets at Home, Tesco's, Asda, you name it. And I didn't even have me stock, and I had a meeting with the head buyer for Tesco's. And the first meeting went dreadful. Oh my God, it was so bad.
To be fair, having that meeting with Tesco, that's big. Just having that meeting. So that.
Yeah, I think I didn't realise how big it was at the time. And then I was lucky enough where I kind of talked my way into a second one.
Nice.
With the buyer I'd met originally and the head buyer. And I went through everything and they were like, okay, so we love your product, we love you, your story, your niche, all of it. However, your business is too premature. Come back to us soon and, you know, meet these conditions, which were essentially getting on Amazon, expanding my range because I only had the wipes. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go away and do it. So then a few months ago, the meeting was, I think, about November. A few months ago, I reached back out. I was like, hope you haven't forgotten about me. I haven't forgotten about you. I've got myself on Amazon. I've expanded my range. What more can I do? Because like I will be in Tesco. Yeah. Like you'll see me on your shelves and whatever you can give me will just help me get there.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough, I got a response back off him and he was like, thanks for reaching out. Happy to hear from you. And here's what you can do to help yourself along the way. Apply for this and happy to hear it on Amazon. Congratulations. So it's just nice because I feel like now I've built a bit more of chemistry with them. So if a spot opens up or if there's an opportunity, I'll be on the forefront of their mind to go, listen, there's this girl with this brand.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A product like this, like obviously putting these two aside to start with, obviously moving through like the private labeling side of this, I know you had, not like I said, not the smoothest journey to this, obviously with the ingredients, then it was the packaging, the brand side of things, but I don't know if the camera could pick that up, but to me, it looks amazing. I think that looks so good. And like in Tesco, they have, when you walk down the pet aisle, you sort of have like your standard pet products and it sort of goes into like the premium range of like the treats, the toys and stuff like this. Like something like this is perfect for not just Tesco, but other good brands. And it's so good to see. And obviously anybody watching this, like the advice to take from this is like, if you want to push into a big retailer such as Tesco, who've probably got thousands of stores around the UK, do what they say. Most people, like that meeting you had where it went dreadful, most people would have probably sat back after that and been like, oh, I've just blown my opportunity.
Yeah.
But obviously you're passionate, you're hungry, and like you had a second meeting, third meeting.
Yeah. So you've just got to be persistent. And I think with me as well, like I'll be straight. I was that confident, some may call it overconfident, that I went and bought myself an Audi before I knew how it went. And I was that confident that it was going to go so well, but that's just because I was so confident in my product.
100%.
I was so confident in my product. I've got this product that's got veterinary approved ingredients. I mean, I've got no background. I've got a D and an E in science. My background's not chemistry, it's not biology, it's not any of this, but I took the time to do it because of my dog, like yourself, like my dog, we got him off another family in lockdown. He came, he had skin fold dermatitis, he had these allergies and different skin problems. Started looking into what are now my competitors. I was like, oh my God, why is this ingredient in this? Like I'm using this near his eyes, I'm using this in his ears. It's, you know, if he licked it, all these things as ingredients that are used in antifreeze, used in dog wipes.
So bad.
And I'm just like, it's not good enough. And obviously, as you know, like your dog's your baby. I was like, there's nothing out there that's good enough for him. He's going to have his own.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm going to make it happen.
And now this is it. And he doesn't even know. He doesn't care. But like, I'm so passionate about it because it worked for him. I've seen it working on other dogs. The feedback I've been getting, as I mentioned previously, like something that was never on the books for me to do was market stalls. And I was a little bit embarrassed at first doing them because I thought it was not so much beneath me, but I always thought if you start small, you'll only continue small. Like I see so many people do market stalls and they're small businesses. That's all they are, is small businesses.
And they stay there year in, year out and stuff.
And to me, and I think I was a little bit naive coming into this going, right, I'm going to be in Tesco's and it's going to be like this. And it's this brilliant product, so why wouldn't someone have it? I didn't realise there would be so many obstacles in my way. But by doing the market, it's prepared me when I go back to Tesco, back to Pets at Home, back to Asda. All these questions that people ask me off the cuff, I've got responses for. And my sales pitch has improved massively. It's helped me understand my product even more than I already did. things like obviously my balm, that's 100% natural. It gives people the opportunity to smell it and everything.
This smells real good, by the way, guys.
So
I might use it for myself.
I literally use it like as a lip balm, any chapped skin. The human range is coming soon, so, you know, keep your eyes peeled. But like this one's 100% plant-based. Now, to me as a consumer, whether it's plant-based or not isn't a big deal. It's more so if it's toxic, toxic ingredients. But to other people, it's a huge deal. Like the wipes are biodegradable. 100%. Again, to me, it's not a massive thing. But because I know the people I'm reaching out to, the more USPs I can get, the better
it is. And it accommodates for a much bigger audience. And I think like the stuff with like my Frenchie, I have to be so careful. Like he can't even eat wheat because it will just have a flare up on his skin and stuff like that. So like everything has to be checked. And I think like just looking at a product like this is probably one of the first ever products where I've looked at and been like, I know exactly what all them ingredients are. There's no like scientifical space age crap in that. So I think like just looking at this stuff, like this is a range that I'd probably go for over anything else for that. And I'm not saying this to help you make sales or anything like that. Like generally it's a good product for specific breeds. Just going back, obviously all of these are private labeled or customized. I have, once again, obviously the uniqueness in the products you're choosing. Like when I wash my dog, it has to be in the bath and it's messy as hell. Water everywhere, he jumps out, he's shaking and stuff like that. This is a waterless pore cleansing shampoo. Like that's so good. I've never seen a product like that before. And I think like having the uniqueness in your products, and once again, like obviously having no experience from, you know, where you've started to what you've achieved so far, and also the potential with huge retailers is insane. It's so good. Like for one, obviously be proud of what you've done there. Absolutely. But two, you're just getting started as well. And touching on the market stalls, I haven't really heard of many people doing that with a brand like this, but like it seems to be beneficial. Like what you're saying, you understand your product more, you can answer questions like more confidently, like you're learning a lot. So I think like moving forward, when you start obviously approaching Tesco again, Asda, Pets at Home and stuff like that, you're gonna have so much more confidence in that first time.
Absolutely. As I say, I mean, something for me is just being able to be authentic in what I'm doing. And doing market stalls is something that allows me to give off that impression and also like show people how genuine all of this is. And I've been surprised mostly by how many people don't have a wrinkly breed, don't have a bulldog, don't have a pug, a Frenchie, and they're like, got this cockapoo or like a poodle and it's got an itchy paw and it's got this, like, what would you recommend? And I'm like, well, although we're aimed at a specific niche, it doesn't mean that other breeds are segregated from it. It just means these breeds suffer the most. And there was no one catering to this specific breed. So I filled that gap.
That's good.
But all other breeds suffer with allergies. All other breeds suffer with wounds, cuts, whatever it may be. It's just that there was a gap where these breeds weren't cared for, and if they were, it was so expensive. Like I remember you telling me the veterinary wipes you bought for your Frenchie, and I was like, you paid how much for those? Like, what the hell? Have you read what's in that? And it looked like crazy foreign ingredients, and I was like, that's so weird. Like, and I think now, even in my shampoo, I'm like, what ingredients are in this? And I just hyper fixate on it now. So I think it's just important that it's all just such a learning journey. Like you think you've learned to your capacity and you haven't.
Yeah. 100%.
And something else comes up. And as I say, this was going to be just my range. And then now at the markets, people want an actual shampoo. So now I've got that coming as well. But that was never in my plan. But because now the markets gives me the opportunity to learn and hear from people. And I think as well, getting the feedback in person is just so lovely. The other day I had 2 women buy from me on one Wednesday, and the next Wednesday they came back to me and they were like, oh, we've been looking for you. I was like, is everything okay? Like, what's the problem? No. They were like, we just want to tell you how amazing your wipes are. And I was like, don't make me cry. And I could feel it. And because it's the first time someone's approached me and looked for me to give me this
feedback.
And they were like, honestly, like he's not biting his paws anymore. He's not itching. So good. And that was just over a week. And I was so like I couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
And although I know it's an incredible product, it still surprises me every time someone tells me
100%,
that it's a good product.
It's because like you've put so much time, effort into it. And I know like obviously helping you out here and there, like on your journey, like it has been a difficult journey.
Yeah.
I think these were a issue, just everything,
So
like
everything.
even down to the fonts. But it just proves like, you know, if you've got that vision of something and you want to achieve a certain standard of product, like it's doable. No matter what
you've just got to be persistent, because there were so many times with this where I could have just called it a day.
Yeah.
Like almost, who did I think I was going to Tesco with no stock?
Yeah.
And they still listen to me. They still heard me out. I've still learned from it. And I think there was so many times where I've sent you a voice note crying, or I've rang Ryan crying, and I'm just cried the whole way through because I'm like, something's wrong. And then when I went to order the bulk, the design, it wasn't going to be this colour blue, or something was changed. And I was just so heartbroken. I was like, that's it. Business over, end of. And now it's all here. I love it the way that it is. It worked out for the best. And I'm so glad I stuck it out. Yeah. Like if someone would have told me, okay, in 2 years, you're going to have a really good business. You're going to have all your stock. You're going to have amazing feedback. Absolutely. You would take that up.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think it's just crazy. Like obviously like the thing I love is like, obviously with yourself, other members and stuff like that is like, 90% of people come through with no experience. And obviously we prefer that because we can teach you our strategies, our methods, we can give you all the support that we can. And like this is just a perfect example of like what's achievable, obviously with the right mindset that you have, you know, just no matter how tough things get, you keep pushing, you keep going, remember what the goal is. So far, you've smashed it, Georgia.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks for jumping on to this podcast, just to share obviously your journey, how things are going, and keep smashing it. And hopefully we'll do another podcast.
Yeah, amazing.
In a few months with some
bigger
awesome,
range.
Bigger
with
ranges.
a big I will be in Tesco's then, bigger and better. But yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm excited to learn more.
100%. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you.